Joined now again by Maple Grove Police Chief Eric Werner. Good to see you again, Chief.
Good to see you, Rusty. Thanks for having me.
We are recording this just a few days after a terrible incident in Burnsville.
Yes.
2 officers shot, a paramedic firefighter also shot and killed. You yourself, several years, 13 years with Burnsville PD as a captain, your rank there. It's got to be so tough for you and your fellow officers here at Maple Grove and in our part of the metro, seeing and hearing what happened there.
Yeah, Rusty, as you said, 13 and a half years I served there, 8 as a captain, and when I saw the incident take place, obviously my friends, my colleagues down there, and seeing what they're going through, very difficult and struck home. I appreciate you recognizing the 2 officers and the firefighter that were killed. They were murdered in the line of duty, and just, you know, our hearts go out to them, our prayers are with them, particularly Chief Schwartz and Chief Jungman.
Your officers may feel the need to take part or go down and pay tribute or be a part of we're still unplanned at this point, services and proceedings and things like that. It's important to support those officers in their response to this tragedy, correct? And letting them be in the community that, as you were telling me, officers will be coming in probably from all over the country or even Canada to take part in this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a brotherhood, sisterhood, police and firefighters, and the community's hurting. When a community loses an officer, firefighter, they're losing a part of their fabric. But also, you lose someone in one community, you lose in all communities. And of course, we'll be there to support them in the immediate. We were part of the procession from the medical examiner's office, or to the medical examiner's office. But we'll also be a part of the funerals, and thousands will probably show up, and like you said, across the country or Canada.
In the face of tragedies like this, but also just the day-to-day responding to calls that are stressful, and for those responding or those who have called for help, life-changing for them, and the officers are right there in the middle of that. Taking care of officer health is at the foremost of what you all are trying to do, and the city is again continuing and taking steps, and you've got some things in place now to really address that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's a tough job, in particular the last several years. You know, there's just been a lot of negative narrative against our profession, and those added stresses to the tough calls. And we're fortunate that we have a city that's going to invest in our officers. We have some comprehensive wellness services through Provicta and Health Quotient, where we're going to look at education first. So is it physical fitness, is it nutrition, all the way to health, heart health prevention, as well as in-depth medical attention. Testing, I should say. And then once all of that is completed, then the officer has an opportunity to have some individual counseling. So we can see where that individual officer is and what they need, and then hopefully we can prevent something and they can have a healthy career and also a healthy retirement.
You feel like this is a response, city leaders listening to you or other law enforcement or public safety officials saying, we got to have this. We have to have this for our officers, our firefighters, or whomever it may be, because of these challenges, and they responded and providing that support and allowing you to seek out these firms that do this and specialize in this. It's got to mean a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. As you know, Rusty, Maple Grove is a progressive city. We already have some comprehensive wellness programming in place for all of our employees, and this just builds on top of that. So we have the city program, but when an officer gets hired, we sit down with the family members and the officers. So they start off with Family Academy, where they get the information. We have the services if a critical incident takes place. We have our annual neck up to checkup for the mental wellness. This is just more comprehensive of what is going on inside that officer medically, and then how we can hopefully prevent, or if there's an issue that's identified, we can take care of it. And again, city leaders support us. We budgeted $50,000 for the first year, and we anticipate it's going to be a continued cost. So absolutely good leadership by the city.
Yeah, the job, it takes an incredible physical toll on officers. The mental toll, obviously, but physical can really do some damage, just really the grind or the schedule or the demands of responding to these high-stress situations. In addition to those pressures you mentioned a moment ago, it has a real physical toll.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you just look at a day-to-day work of an officer, you could be driving along, you could be out doing a community event where you're being positive and it's a low stress, and all of a sudden you get that call. So you're going from 0 to 100. You have to operate in that environment for a while, then you have to come back down and go to another service-related call. So there's this constant yo-yo of up and down. And while all of that's going on, then you have to take a look at the big picture. So when you have a tragedy that takes place down in Burnsville, now that weighs on you as an individual officer, officer. And as we had talked about, that incident happens, and now my officers are being deployed to another critical incident in another city. So that is all within just a day or two of an officer's life. You do that over 25 to 30 years, it's going to take a toll on them mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Okay, well, we're thinking of you and your officers in this difficult time as you continue your day-to-day job. Chief Werner, thank you for coming by.
Thank you, Rusty. It's always good to be here.
Learn more about The Connection at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.